Hey, all, welcome back. Another review day today. First impression. And this time it's once again another amp. And the last amp I did wasn't, to be honest with you, good enough for what I needed it for. It was the Fender Champion 25. And I had a couple of issues with that amp in terms of just wasn't totally happy with the amp settings, quite frankly, on it. It was a digital amp, and it had a bunch of different, settings on it that I thought weren't as good as the original, the 20-watt version of the Champion. When they went to the 25, they tweaked and changed the amp settings around a bit as they did the effects. And I actually liked the 20 better, even though it was 5 watts less, which was hard to tell the difference. I felt it had better settings than the 25. So in any event, it didn't suit my needs. So I went and got another amp, for my personal use. And this is what I bought. This Gamma amp. Gamma is the house brand for Guitar Center / Musician's Friend. Used to go under the name Acoustic, for those of you that are familiar with the house brand amps for Guitar Center. These amps have been out now for maybe 5 years under the Gamma name, and they come in just two options, a 25 watter, which is this, as well as a 50 watter. Now, again, it's the full name of the company is Acoustic Control Corporation, and they have their own website. And the particular specs on this amp, simple amp, basic amp, are it's a 25 watt amp. It has a 10-inch speaker. It's called a True Blue, and here you can see it. Right? It supports up to 30 watts. It's a 20-ounce magnet. There's the on and off switch, right, over here. Right? There's the plug, or the connection for the outlet for the power plug. It has a channel select option over here for a foot switch, if you're so inclined to connect the foot switch. And that's it. It's a basic amp with an open back. The speaker happens to be very decent. And on the front of the amp, right, if you can see this clearly, you have a voicing of 4 amps, or 4 amp voices. A clean setting, a blues setting, a rock setting, and a metal setting. It has a volume over here next to that, which is for, there are 2 channels on this amp. Channel 1 is just clean, and channel 2 you can hear all the voices, right, that I just mentioned. The switches over here, or the controls over here, is drive, which adds a little increase in dirt to the amp. Then there's a volume knob, which is for the 4 main amp options it controls. And then you have your equalization, which is bass, middle, and treble. Now you can see on this amp that it's missing reverb. So the 2 things right off the chute that I would like to see improved on this amp is I would love to have a reverb setting included on the amp. And the other thing is it doesn't have a tuner for the guitar, which most of your digital amps have these days. So the 2 things that it's clearly missing, in my opinion, are reverb and a tuner capability. The nice thing it has over here, as you can see, is a Bluetooth capability. So you can connect music into this amp and play along with music if that's your thing. It also has an aux in, right, for an MP3 player or something to connect to with, non-wireless. And it also has a headphone jack on the amp. Very simple amp. Now, what I like about it is its simplicity, right? Me being an older guy, not wanting to deal with a lot of controls and apps and things like that. This is a basic amp, right? It's designed to have effects played externally. In other words, you can connect switches, foot switches, and effects boxes to this amp, right? Because it doesn't have any built-in effects. So if you want to have an echo pedal, or a reverb pedal, or a distortion pedal, or some box that has all different effects, you can connect that to this amp. That I like, right? This way I can pick and choose what I want to connect to this thing and set it up accordingly. So yeah, that's what I like about this Gamma amp. Now weight-wise, it's not super light. I would say it's probably about 18, 20 pounds. 18 pounds is what it's listed as. But it does have a bit of weight to it, but it's not bad. Trying to think if there's anything else. It's got a nice, rubber casing to it. A nice strong handle, rubber handle on it. It seems to be built extremely solid in terms of the build quality. So yeah, that's the Gamma. Now, let you hear it. We'll plug it in so you could see what this thing sounds like. And I just have everything set to flat, the middle setting on everything, on the bass, on the treble, on the mid range, to keep it simple, right? And now I'll just go through the amps so you could hear what the clean amp sounds like, the blues setting, the rock, and the metal. Okay. And again, it's a 25 watt amp. So now, right now, I have it set on clean, just so you can hear what clean sounds like. And now I will switch it over to the blues setting on the amp. Increase in distortion and an increase in volume, and I have it now set to rock. And now I will have it set to metal. Take it up a notch, as Emerald would say. Tune, right? That's my my nickname. So it is a simple amp. Like I said, I don't have any effects. Now, that's the second channel, right? You can get all those different amp settings. If I click it to the first channel, it is clean only. So turn the volume up. That's it. That's the only voicing you get with channel 1. Now, let me put this down for a second. Bring the amp up. So when it's on channel 1, you can see it has a blue light. I don't know how well that's coming through. If I switch it to channel 2 so you can get metal, rock, blues, and clean, that's it. And you do get a little bit of hum, as you can hear, when it's on the second channel or channel 2. And that's one of the complaints that I've read in the comments of the reviews of this amp, is it is a little bit on the noisy side. But once you start playing and you have it set up, and I make certain adjustments on here with the volume controls in the middle and treble settings, you can mute a lot of that background noise. So it's not a deal breaker at all for me personally. I happen to like the tone of the amp. I happen to like the simplicity of the amp. I think the build quality is great. Here's the other thing, guys. This amp normally goes for $139.99. Musician's Friend has it on sale right now for $109.99, and an additional 10% off when you add it to your cart, which brings the amp down to $98.99, which is, in my opinion, a steal for this amp. Headphone amps are going for $100. The Fender, Mustang headphone amp that you can plug into your guitar. So this amp at that price and the sound quality, in my opinion, is a steal at $98.99. Now, again, it does not have built-in reverb. It does not have a built-in tuner, and it doesn't have any effects whatsoever. It's a simple amp, guitar amp with a 10-inch speaker, which is what I wanted. So I like it. I think it's going to stick around a bit. We'll see. But I have a strong feeling it will. What else? It's got Bluetooth, which is another nice feature. It's not super heavy at 18 pounds. And if 25 watts isn't enough for you, it comes in a 50-watt version as well. So, yeah, that's the Gamma amp that is available at Musician's Friend and Guitar Center. And again, I bought the 25-watt version. That's it, guys. If you like these videos, please subscribe. If you have any questions about the amp, put them in the comments. And until the next one, be well, see you soon, have a great day.